So we're arguing about Macintosh and Windows right now, and you know, we do a lot of beer blogs here, but I thought it would be a good idea to talk about topics, beer topics that might be of interest to the people that come to the site. And one of the topics that we've talked about recently is ABV, alcohol by volume, and how some states, and even like Utah is one of the states that I know is grappling with this, but even in Georgia where we are, it's ridiculous. They just upped it from, go ahead and talk about what they...
Yeah, it was about 4, almost 5 years ago now, they in Georgia, that we raised the alcohol limit from 6% to 14%.
Right.
And which was a great thing. I mean, we actually, there's a whole lot of beer that we could bring into the state that we now can get that we couldn't get before from that 6 to 14. But, you know, my feeling, and this is from a consumer standpoint for sure, we were laughing about this earlier, I can't get a 16% beer, but I can go buy, you know, grain alcohol that is 150%.
I can get a bottle of 151 and pour it in a shot glass and light it on fire, but I can't buy, you know, a higher alcohol beer.
And I think honestly, the reason that, at least in Georgia, that we went that way was that it was, you know, beer still has a perception of the, you know, it's the good old boy beverage. So,
and you're from a distributor standpoint. You really understand from a distributing standpoint.
Right. Well, I think it's also in Georgia, and this kind of goes hand in hand.
Right.
In Georgia, at the grocery stores, you can buy beer and wine.
Right.
But you cannot buy alcohol. And
never on Sundays, by the way.
And never on Sunday, yeah. Still one of the few states that no Sunday sales. But,
Church day.
And I think that's part of it, is what's the definition of a beer? And instead of changing the definition of a beer to being, you know, something, you know, different than 14%, that was the easy thing, is to say we won't change the definition of a beer. We'll say that beer now can be up to 14%. You can sell it at a grocery store, as opposed to simply saying at a grocery store you could sell up to, and basically, of course, most wines tend to be 14-ish% is at their upper end. So that was kind of what the state, I think, was coming up with, was we don't want to sell anything with a higher alcohol than 14% at the grocery store.
Well, it's a ridiculous rule, and I don't know if you have an opinion on it as well.
My feeling is, let's don't try and limit beer. Let's simply say, all right, grocery store can sell up to 14%. I don't care what it is. It's wine, it's beer.
But you're saying liquor store...
It's fermented milk. It doesn't matter, you know, as long as it's no more than 14%. But at a liquor store...
Sure. I mean, because you know, I got to think about this. The kids aren't buying. If it's worrying about who's buying it or whatever, you're not going to get some kid buying a $20 bottle of beer that's 20% alcohol.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. So I don't know what they're preventing. I guess that's what I don't understand.
And it's no more palatable in terms of like rapid consumption than a wine or a liquor.
I can buy a 30-pack of Miller High Life.
That's true.
I can get 30 beers cheaper than I can get one bottle of a higher alcohol percentage beer. Right. So I don't understand the logic of that.
I can see you shooting those too, man. I can see it, like the whole key punch.
I don't mind my Miller High Life. I will say that on camera. But
maybe we'll get some video of you keying beers. And
that's good video.
Sure.
That's good video.
So I guess
David can bust out his funnel.
To sum it up, I guess I think we all agree it's a stupid rule. It really is a stupid rule. I mean, I don't think you should cap alcohol ABV on a beer.
I think what we did. I think what happened here in the state was that those that were fighting for expanding the alcohol level here in the state realized that what they could get through the legislature was an expansion of the limit as opposed to no limit.
Right.
So if we'd gone to the state and we'd said, "Oh, listen, let's do away with alcohol limits," never would have happened. But if we said,
we should probably point out that was Stephanie Stuckey Benfield,
absolutely,
Stephanie Stuckey Benfield that championed that bill, and a handful of other legislators that got behind it, and obviously the grassroots efforts that followed. It took a couple of years, but
I think
she's actually been a great proponent of the craft brew industry.
She's big supporter of the craft brew.
She's kind of working with us now on some measures to kind of help liberate some things.
Yeah.
Tell you what, if you got an opinion about this, leave a comment right here on this video. Tell us what you think, and maybe we'll pick up the topic later on.
I really, what I would love to do is talk with more people who have a strong sense about why it still needs to be.
Why it needs to be. Yeah,
because a lot of people.
That's right.
Very, yeah.
If you have a good point, put it down here.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Against. Cheers.
It's kind of ironic to do that with some of John's beers.
Yes,
we're here at Moon River that are. These are actually relatively lower alcohol, but full of flavor.
Yeah,
so,
these particular beers are some of the lowest I've got at the moment.
Very nice.
But still,
session beers.
delicious.
If you got an opinion one way or the other, if they're strong enough, we'll read them right here on the website and we'll talk about them. Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers. Cheers.
Lunge, guys.